Hey sports fans, just want to do a quick video recap and give a few thoughts about Michigan's 81-71 overtime win over Oakland. This was a rough game. At least there's going to be a lot of coaching points to talk about. You heard the media talking about it, Robbie Hummel talking about how Michigan just wasn't doing ball fakes well. They were getting 15 first half turnovers. 15. They had 12 field goals in the first half. 15 turnovers. Crazy. I think some foolish fouls by Michigan, too, especially by Smith, really hurt the first half. He had to sit down for a long time with 2 fouls. And Brooks came in and was just being sloppy with the ball. I'm not only going to point out Brooks, because there were other players. Livers did some poor passes, trying to throw into Davis and such. And the whole team just wasn't controlling the ball. They weren't valuing the possessions at all. I haven't seen that many bad alley-oop passes in a game. No one hit an alley-oop pass for either side. And there was 3 or 4 attempts in the game, and all were terrible passes. Something to work on in practice, I guess. Man, 15 first-half turnovers. Fouls really hurt Michigan in that way. Kind of really derailed the offense. The rhythm was gone. And at the end of the first half, Michigan actually trailed 33-31. And you even saw it in the first half where like Howard and Livers got into it with each other, barked at each other in a huddle, and I don't know what it was, if it was like a play that he was supposed to run and he should know how to run it and he didn't run it. I could see Howard was getting irritated. He's very frustrated that Michigan was playing so poorly. So they go in at half, down by 2. I really think that Smith being out with those 2 fouls really hurt the ball control. I'm not saying Michigan was playing perfect before he got 2 fouls, but Smith comes back, and boom, boom, boom. Michigan, in the first minute and 15 seconds, Smith, I think, had 2 rebounds, one scored on a layup, and assisted on a Livers 3-pointer, and also it was 36-33. And I thought, okay, Michigan's going to take off now, but they didn't. They didn't. Actually, in fact, it was the other way. Oakland built a lead, went on like a nice 11-2 run or something like that, got up by, I think, 6 points. I think that was the most they got up by, 6 over Michigan. And then Michigan finally figured it out. I mean, they had success in the first half doing the high-low post moves. And Robbie Hummel, I think it is, kept pointing out how Michigan just needed to do that over and over and over. And our offense clicked really good. And then the problem was Michigan would get wide open 3-pointers and couldn't hit any of them. Outside of the last 2, Michigan hit the last 2 they took in the last minute of overtime or so. They were just shooting terrible. I think it would have been 7 out of 27 for the game before those last 2 makes. They were just wide open shots and just breaking. They could not hit those 3-pointers. And so it'd be just seemed like such a wasted possession because you're getting points inside and then, wide open 3-point shooter, miss. Wide open 3-point shot, miss. And Brown, who went 7 of, or maybe 5 of 7, I think it was, against Bowling Green, went 1 of 10 on 3-pointers. 1 of 10. He only finished with 5 points. Livers had 22 points, 8 of 12. He also shot 5 of 7 from threes. Man. Livers was going, but not much else happened except for Dickenson. In the second half, Dickenson and Williams, the 2 freshmen, really started playing outstanding 2-man ball. They just scored really well. Dickenson scored all 19 of his second half of his points in the second half and the first 6 points of overtime, too. Just outstanding how Michigan finally executed it right and got him the ball in the second half. And that's what they should have been doing the whole game. They just kind of get in their own way a little bit. But they're a young team-ish. 3 freshmen played. Dickenson and Williams. Williams had 7 points, I think it was. It was, okay, something to build on. And it's a lot better to build on something after a win than a loss. So at least they won the game. Because, man, for a while I thought Michigan was going to lose this game. I really did. But they got the win. And I do like how this team passes the ball really well. If we could hit just even 33-40% of our 3-pointers, you're just blowing out this team. The problem was you weren't. I do like it. 24 assists on 29 field goals. That's just really good ball movement. And that's showing that you're really setting up good shots. Just got to hit more of those wide open three-pointers. Because against Big Ten opponents, they're going to have bigger size than Oakland had and Bowling Green had, and Williams and Dickenson and Davis are not going to be able to just do what they want in Big Ten play. But take what you can get. More experience. Have the victory. 2 wins, 0 losses. I think the problem was Michigan was probably just thinking they're just going to blow out Oakland because, they got blown out by Xavier. They got blown out by opponent number 2 and opponent number 3 for them. This is their 5th game in their 4th game in like 5 nights or something. Give them credit. Despite the fact he didn't shoot well for Oakland more, he only shot 4 of 19, but he finished with 20-some points because he got to the free throw line and went 12 of 13 on free throws. I don't know what kind of reffing crew you have. I know Michigan won, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but the refs made some really questionable calls in this game. Michigan got called for a lot of offensive fouls, which looked like moving defenders, and you had the double foul called, which the media had no idea how they could call both of them. And then in the last, half a minute, Livers gets called for a guy just kind of losing his balance, and so sends Oakland to the line for 2 free throws, which they both hit, and tied the game. The reffing was really suspect in that way. But you're not going to get a top-notch reffing crew for an early season game in non-conference. So it is what it is. I'm glad Michigan got the win. You just shake your head at the refs and what they called and just learn and get better. So that's what it is. Just leaving it, moving on. But man, there were some bad calls in that game. Anyways, Michigan gets the win. Very impressed with Dickenson dominating the second half. About time they really got to it. Just took advantage of their height. So glad they got the win. Lots of things to work on. Just got to hit those open threes and control the ball. I know they had 15 first half turnovers, only 5 in the second half and overtime, and a couple of those were on offensive fouls too, I think. So not so bad. Yeah. Let me know your opinions. Always like to see what you guys think, and I try to respond as I can. As always, if you like this, please subscribe. I appreciate my new subscribers, and until the next game, I'll just say go blue, and see you next time.